The gold standard almost collapsed in the Philippines after the armistice because, of course, global demand dries up. So, of course, the logical thing to say would be like, the gold standard is a tenuous standard. But what the Americans did in order to hide the problems of the gold standard is to blame the collapse of the Philippine economy on corrupt Filipinos. The Philippine National Bank wouldn't have collapsed if it had been treated as part of the Federal Reserve System. In other words, if it had been bailed out like the rest of the American banks. The problem was because it was a colonial bank, it was small enough to fail. And so they let it fail. I mean, Adam Tooze says that the collapse of the 1920s is the most underappreciated economic crisis of the 20th century. You see that pronounced in the Philippines. And it's underappreciated because nobody talks about it. Nobody even says it's a crisis. Everybody just says it's a crisis of corruption. And that kind of determines the way Philippine historiography proceeds. Because until now, if you look at the way the majority of historians of the Philippines talk about the Philippines, they kind of say that the problem of the Philippines is corruption, rent-seeking, crony capitalism, etc., etc. And I just find it like completely intellectually unsatisfying. Because I think any society that is capitalist and has electoral democracy creates systems of rent-seeking. There's nothing unique about the Philippines example that makes it, kind of haven for rent-seeking and crony capitalism.